The third episode of The Idol was released last night. We're halfway through this season, and I gotta say, right here and right now, this does not deserve a second season. It's just bad. This episode is titled Daybreak, and there's so much going on in this episode. But I'll start with what's wrong in this episode. There are quite a few things, but chief among them, the Weeknd's performance. It's really bad. Distinctively bad in this episode. Oh, it's bad. And I can't get over this. I wonder why they decided to put this helmet wig on his head, because you can't take his character seriously with this wig on his head. This wig is just is such a distraction from his character and contributes to his performance. It's really bad. Aside from that, aside from the obvious awful performance that he delivers in this episode, they have an Epstein Island joke that is reprehensible. It was not funny. It should have never been. It doesn't even move the story. It was so unnecessary. There's nothing funny about it. I wish that HBO would have decided, or Max would have decided, to just cut it out completely, because it's and I don't understand why the actor even agreed to say it. It's awful. At any rate, there are some gems in this episode. I wish this went in a different direction, because it could have been more about how vulnerable broken people are, and what drives people who join cults, what drives them in them, and how easily proselytized some people are who join cults. Let's recap. So the beginning, Jocelyn and Abel. So Abel's moved in. He's fired her trainer, and her assistant and best friend, who her character is so reactionary that there's not enough for her. So Jocelyn's assistant is on the phone with Divine Joy Randolph's character and Hank Azaria's character. This is Jocelyn's team. She's on there saying that Tedros is firing people and he really has Jocelyn under his thumb, the whole bit. She's such a reactionary character. I wish there was more for her to do. There likely was more for her to do, but it had to have been cut, because this character is unnecessary at this point, because she doesn't have much to do but to react to what's going on in Jocelyn's life. But that's neither here nor there. This is the direction that they wanted to take. So she's telling them, and they're trying to find a way to peel him away from Jocelyn without pissing Jocelyn off. So, and then they're on the phone with her record label and saying, oh, she's working on music and she's going to release in 2 weeks. He's like, cancel the tour. She's a mess, or whatever. And they're like, no, she's working on music. She's going to release in 2 weeks to buy some more time. So Tedros and Jocelyn are at Dior. They shut down the store. He takes her shopping on her money. And they shut down Dior, and they're in this is where the acting just gets awful for the Weeknd, in this, specifically in this scene. And it gets raunchy in there. I don't even, like, they end up having sex, but he has this like moment threatened by an associate who is finding, clothes for Jocelyn. He's threatened, and he thinks that he's coming on to Jocelyn, the associate. And so he has this moment. I mean, it is just a really bad scene. They have sex in there. They leave, go to Jocelyn's place, and meet with Divine Joy Randolph's character and Hank Azaria's character, who play it off somewhat. They know that Jocelyn is in trouble, but they don't want to ruffle her feathers, and so they pretend to like the direction that Tedros is taking Jocelyn musically. And Tedros is planning to invite over Kanye West's producer, one of his producers, inviting him over to give Jocelyn this new sound. And so they pretend like they like what Tedros is doing. And so this kind of lets Jocelyn's guard down. So they leave, they get in their Bentley and say, okay, yeah, this girl's in trouble. Meanwhile, Jennie Kim from Blackpink, she's in this series. She's taken Jocelyn's spot, or about to, because Nikki, played by Jane Addams, I actually like her character. I wish we spent more time with her character. But Nikki is planning to find a new Jocelyn, and she thinks she's found her in Jennie Kim's character. So Jennie Kim is on this same set that Jocelyn abandoned a few days ago, and they're recording a song and a video. They're not recording a song, they're recording a video with her character, with Jennie Kim's character. She's going to take the spot. There are not enough episodes to explore these other arcs that I find are a lot better than what's going on. I honestly think that Lily Rose Depp is doing everything she can to make this character work. I wish we explored more about that. It's spending so much time on Tedros' character. I know that The Weeknd's character is very critical, very crucial to this story, but he is not, in my opinion, he is not the right person to carry the load of what this character represents. I don't think he's a good actor for this particular character. I think Lily Rose Depp is doing, what she can. She's maximizing the effort to make Jocelyn a deeply dimensional character. And I wish they would have explored more of her character and how easily proselytized her character can be by this very manipulative Tedros, played by The Weeknd. I wish that was explored more. So there's this deep scene at the dinner table where Tedros and his crew, Kanye West's, the character, producer, is there with Jocelyn, and Jocelyn is just telling more about her mother. Each episode we learn a little more and more about her momager who passed away, and Jocelyn is saying that as when she was young and growing up and becoming this star, that her mother really was abusive, and that she kept the brush that her mom would use to beat her into not just submission but into perfection. She kept that brush, and so Tedros is plucking out of her these bruised moments, these traumatic moments in her life, and he wields this power that he holds over her as this cult leader to get her to confess that the reason why she hasn't been able to tap into this sound now that her mom is gone is because she hasn't been beaten. She doesn't have anyone controlling her in that way. And so he uses this deep-seated emotional trauma to pull out of her some semblance of perfection. Now, in this scene, he does say, why are you so worried about other people, and why are you so concerned about how people perceive you? That was going in a direction they ended up pulling back from that conversation, because there's some social commentary in that, especially when you're talking about these stars, child stars who are really groomed. He's grooming her here also, but she can't see this, but she has been groomed, and there's a larger conversation there that they pull away from. I wish they would have spent a little more time there, but she continues to tell him what happened, and so he uses that moment or that trauma to produce a song, to produce a sound. And then at the end, we see that she thanks him. This always happens. She thanks him for yanking that out of her. So she is attracted to the abuse because she has been groomed in this industry. I wish we spent more time there instead of like these sex scenes that don't matter. Like these sex scenes are so overt and I think unnecessary, because we can already deduce what happens in those moments. We really don't need to see it because it just feels so icky and exploitative of the character. We shouldn't be, as a viewer, the audience shouldn't be subjected to these wild fantasies, because we already know, like, enough has already been shown. We don't have to continually see it. I get the point they're trying to make to force us to see it, but we really don't have to see it. We already see that the character is too far gone, because they just get icky and they're really uncomfortable to watch. And I don't think it's just uncomfortable for the character. I think it's uncomfortable as a woman actor for Lily Rose Depp. I think it just feels icky. I don't think this series needs a renewal. 6 episodes is plenty. We're halfway in. What I wish we knew more about. I'm glad we learned more about her mother, but I wish we spent more time there. I wish we spent more time with Jocelyn. I wish we spent more time with Jenny Kim, because this happens all the time. You have these women who are going to be pitted against each other because we have been many, or I'll say consumers have bought into this idea that only one woman performer at a time. Only one woman can be at the top at a time. And so I wish we got deeper into that. We don't spend enough time with the more interesting characters. It's spending way too much time with Tedros. Yes, I understand that this is about his character too, just as much as it is about Jocelyn, because she joins his cult. I get it. But how he is written, just every scene he's in seems to diminish the scene. It diminishes the story in a way that just makes it seem like somebody else should have played his character. He's not a good actor. This tired tracksuit he keeps wearing, or the attire that he's wearing, it looks so icky. And the helmet on his head, oh god, this wig is really awful. It's just, and maybe that was purposed, because he's a disgusting character and it's really difficult to look at him. I don't get, but she fell, Lily Rose Depp's character, Jocelyn fell for him despite how he looks, and because of how he treats her, because she is attracted to the abuse, because she's been groomed. It needed to be explored more though. I wonder if his character would have worked if it were someone else playing it, because all of the ickiness of what he wears and this wig on his head really does contribute to how awful of a performance he's delivering in this role. At the end of the day, this is really not a good series. See it at your own risk, but believe me when I tell you, it's really bad. The first 3 episodes of The Idol is currently streaming on Max.